Hey Raiders Nation, let's dive straight into the whirlwind that is the future of the Las Vegas Raiders. There is no denying that Max Crosby is the heartbeat of this team, a player whose presence on the field is felt every single snap, every drive, every crucial moment when the silver and black need a spark. And yet, the conversation surrounding him this season has grown louder than ever. It is a conversation about loyalty, opportunity, and strategy, one that cuts right to the core of what it means to build a championship-caliber team in the NFL. Fans love him. The organization wants him. Crosby himself has made it abundantly clear that his desire is to remain a Raider for life. That commitment is rare in today's league, where loyalty can often be overshadowed by contracts and cap space, and yet it exists here undeniably in the heart of Max Crosby. But let's be honest, the reality of the NFL is that money often guides decisions just as much as talent does. When the Raiders restructured Crosby's contract a few seasons ago, they did so with an eye toward flexibility in the years of 2026 and 2027, a move that was carefully crafted to give the team options, whether that meant re-signing him long-term or making a strategic move to maximize his value in a potential trade. Front-loaded deals like this are rarely coincidental. They signal foresight, and they also hint at hard truths that sometimes clash with the emotional attachment fans and players have to a team. If the Raiders finish the season with victories against the New York Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs, it could drastically shift the landscape of the roster and draft positioning, and suddenly, decisions that once felt unimaginable start to look like reality. Consider the implications of winning those games. The Raiders are currently navigating a season that has been frustrating, to say the least, one where the team's record has prevented them from securing the kind of draft positioning that allows you to shape the roster around a franchise quarterback. If they do manage those wins, it might seem like a victory in the moment, but it could cost them a top 5 draft pick and the flexibility that comes with it. The kind of flexibility that allows a team to rebuild strategically and set itself up for long-term success. Max Crosby becomes an asset in this scenario, not just for his ability on the field, but for the financial and draft leverage he represents. If the Raiders go all in on a full rebuild, the calculus changes dramatically, and even a player as iconic as Crosby could be on the table if it means maximizing the future of the franchise. It is also impossible to ignore the quarterback situation, which has been the elephant in the room for the Raiders ever since the decision to part ways with Derek Carr. The team has cycled through options that have failed to provide stability, leaving the roster without a clear path at the most important position in football. For a player like Crosby, someone who has given his prime years to this team and played at an elite level, this presents a dilemma. Does he stay loyal to a franchise still searching for answers at quarterback, or does he seize the opportunity to pursue championship contention elsewhere? It is a question that has no easy answer, and it is a question that every professional player at his level must consider when evaluating the arc of their career. From the organization's perspective, the need for a rebuild is not hypothetical. It is a practical necessity. The Raiders have struggled with coaching changes, personnel decisions, and inconsistency in recent seasons, and a full-scale rebuild might be the only way to attract the right leadership and the right players to restore the team to its competitive heights. In such a scenario, Crosby becomes the centerpiece of value that can accelerate the rebuild, providing draft capital and salary cap relief that can allow the Raiders to fill roster holes and reset for sustained success. It is a tough conversation, one that pits loyalty against strategy, passion against pragmatism, and it is precisely this kind of complexity that makes following this team so compelling. Financially, the numbers align with the possibility of a move. If traded in the 2026 season, the Raiders would save significant cap space, giving them flexibility to add players and build around the quarterback of the future. By 2027, a substantial portion of Crosby's contract becomes fully guaranteed early in the new league year, providing him leverage to negotiate a new deal and control where he plays next. The timing is critical. The decision window is narrow, and it is a scenario that combines both the financial strategy of the team and the personal priorities of the player. For someone of Crosby's caliber, the stakes are enormous. He is still in his prime, and he has a career ahead of him that could be defined by championships and playoff success. The Raiders have to weigh the immediate gains of winning a couple of games against the long-term vision for the franchise, and in that balance lies the potential for a seismic decision. Looking forward, the draft landscape plays a huge role in all of this. The 2026 and 2027 quarterback classes are central to the team's planning. Some within the organization have already identified top prospects in the 2027 class, evaluating whether that is the right moment to pursue a franchise quarterback and how trade assets could be leveraged to secure that player. A team without a top 5 pick in 2026 might lack the ability to move up and secure its preferred quarterback, making the calculus of trading Crosby and stockpiling future picks not just appealing, but strategically sound. The Raiders are navigating a delicate path where draft positioning, player contracts, and roster construction intersect, creating a scenario where tough choices become inevitable. For fans, it is easy to get caught up in the emotion of loyalty and the love for a player like Crosby. He is a face of the franchise, a player whose intensity, skill, and leadership define what it means to be a Raider. But the business of football is brutally pragmatic. Trades, contracts, and draft strategy are all part of the equation, and even the most dedicated stars can become central pieces in a larger plan to rebuild and reposition a team for long-term success. Crosby's potential move would not diminish his impact or legacy. It would simply reflect the reality that building a contender sometimes requires making difficult decisions that balance emotion with strategy. Even as we talk about these possibilities, one thing remains clear. Max Crosby is a once-in-a-generation talent whose contributions cannot be overstated. Any decision regarding his future would be made with the utmost consideration, weighing the potential for winning now against the opportunity to construct a foundation capable of sustained success for years to come. The Raiders are at a crossroads, navigating the tension between competitive urgency and the necessity of rebuilding intelligently. Every game, every draft pick, and every roster move carries weight. And in the midst of this, Crosby's position is both central and complex, emblematic of the challenging decisions every franchise faces in the high-stakes world of professional football. As we move deeper into the discussion of what lies ahead for the Las Vegas Raiders, it becomes increasingly clear that the intersection of talent, timing, and strategic planning will define the franchise's trajectory over the next few seasons. Max Crosby's potential departure is not simply a matter of speculation. It is a reflection of the challenges the team faces in balancing immediate competitiveness with long-term sustainability. While Crosby has been a relentless force on the field, the reality of building a championship-caliber team in today's NFL is that even players of his caliber must be considered as assets in the broader context of team construction. The Raiders have long recognized the importance of strategic foresight, and the current scenario with Crosby exemplifies the kind of complex decision-making that defines successful franchises. The quarterback position remains the pivotal factor in all of this. Since the team's separation from Derek Carr, the Raiders have struggled to establish stability under center, cycling through options that have consistently failed to provide the leadership and performance necessary to contend at the highest level. For a defensive powerhouse like Crosby, the lack of a franchise quarterback complicates the calculus of remaining with the team. It is one thing to commit to a team emotionally. It is another to commit professionally, knowing that the pathway to a championship remains uncertain. Crosby's prime years are invaluable, and his perspective on winning, or the lack thereof, carries significant weight. Any rational evaluation of his future must include the reality that his career is at a stage where championship opportunities are a priority, and he has the right to seek them in an environment where the team's plan aligns with his own aspirations. Financial implications cannot be overlooked. The structure of Crosby's contract is such that it offers both the Raiders and the player flexibility. The front-loaded nature of the deal and the lack of guaranteed money in the later years provide a unique opportunity for the team to consider a trade without creating crippling financial consequences, while also allowing Crosby to dictate the terms of his future should a move occur. From a salary cap perspective, trading Crosby could free up tens of millions of dollars, giving the Raiders the means to address roster holes, add impactful players, and build around a quarterback who could lead the franchise for the next decade. These considerations are not hypothetical. They are grounded in the financial reality of managing an NFL roster where cap space is as valuable as talent on the field. The draft is another critical piece of the puzzle. The 2026 and 2027 classes present distinct opportunities, particularly at the quarterback position. The potential to select a franchise quarterback in the top 5 is a game-changing advantage, and missing that window could force the team into compromises that delay the rebuilding process. By strategically leveraging assets, including Crosby himself, the Raiders could accumulate draft capital to position themselves for the top quarterback prospect, effectively shaping the future of the franchise around a player who can anchor the team for years to come. The combination of draft positioning, free agency, and contract management represents a complex chessboard where every move has lasting consequences, and Crosby is one of the most significant pieces on that board. The organizational philosophy of the Raiders also comes into play. Over the past few seasons, the franchise has experienced instability in coaching and management, which has contributed to inconsistent performance and difficulty in maintaining a clear strategic direction. A full-scale rebuild, including the potential trading of a star like Crosby, may be the only way to attract the leadership necessary to restore the team to its competitive peak. Head coaches today seek both talent and flexibility. A team willing to clear cap space and accumulate draft capital demonstrates a level of ambition and strategic clarity that is appealing to top coaching candidates. In this context, Crosby's potential move is not just about one player. It is about creating the conditions for long-term success and signaling to future leadership that the team is serious about building a contender from the ground up. It is also worth noting that fan perception, while emotionally charged, often does not align with the strategic necessities of the game. Raiders fans are fiercely loyal, and the thought of losing Crosby would certainly create an emotional reaction. Yet, in the realm of professional football, decisions are rarely made solely on sentiment. The goal of any franchise is sustained success, which sometimes requires difficult choices that prioritize long-term competitiveness over short-term attachment. Trading Crosby, if it occurs, would not diminish his legacy. It would reflect the reality that maximizing value and strategically positioning the team for the future can sometimes outweigh the desire to maintain continuity with a single player, no matter how iconic. The calculus also extends to team composition and roster needs. Beyond the quarterback position, the Raiders face gaps across offense, defense, and special teams. Filling these gaps requires both draft capital and cap space, resources that can be generated through strategic trades and roster restructuring. Crosby represents a rare combination of elite talent and market value, making him a uniquely impactful asset in this process. A trade could provide multiple first-round picks or high-value assets that allow the Raiders to address several areas simultaneously, accelerating the rebuild in a way that simply maintaining the status quo could not achieve. It is a scenario that emphasizes strategic foresight, disciplined planning, and the willingness to make tough decisions in pursuit of long-term success. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing with shock and speculation after an announcement that could redefine the landscape of the league. Sources close to team management suggest that the unthinkable has happened. The Raiders and the Chiefs are reportedly finalizing a blockbuster trade that has left fans and analysts alike scrambling to make sense of the implications. While details remain scarce, insiders claim that Mark Davis, the Raiders owner, played a pivotal role in orchestrating what could be one of the most audacious moves in recent memory. For years, rumors have swirled around the Raiders' roster moves, but this latest development appears to surpass anything previously imagined. The speculation alone has sent social media into a frenzy, with fans dissecting potential strategies and wondering how this trade might shift the balance of power in the AFC. The Chiefs, known for their high-profile acquisitions and aggressive front office decisions, are reportedly engaging with an eye toward both immediate impact and long-term dominance. Meanwhile, Raiders supporters are cautiously optimistic, intrigued by the idea of shaking up a division rivalry that has long been defined by intensity and history. Analysts are already debating what this trade could mean for both teams' identities. Will the Chiefs lean even harder into their offensive firepower, or are they seeking defensive reinforcement to complement their established lineup? On the flip side, the Raiders appear poised to make a statement, signaling that Mark Davis is unafraid to take bold risks in pursuit of contention. Speculation about who might be involved is running wild, with names of star players, emerging talents, and draft picks all being tossed into the conversation. The intrigue lies not only in the potential names on the move, but also in the timing and the strategy behind it, suggesting a level of planning that could reverberate for seasons to come. While the trade has yet to be fully confirmed by official channels, the ripple effects are undeniable. Sports networks are buzzing, podcasts are dissecting possible scenarios, and fans of both teams are bracing for what could be a historic shift in their respective rosters. The excitement is tangible, as every rumor, every insider tip, and every cryptic social media post seems to feed the growing sense that the NFL landscape may be on the cusp of one of its most dramatic transformations. Only time will tell how this daring maneuver will play out, but one thing is certain. The Raiders and the Chiefs have captured the imagination of the football world, and Mark Davis has ensured that no one will be able to look away. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.